You know what's holding you back. It isn't the world, it isn't luck, it isn't other people, it's that pattern you keep repeating, that cycle that keeps you trapped in the same place, day after day, year after year. And your future self, the person you could become, is begging you right now to break it, because that version of you is waiting on the other side of discipline, on the other side of courage, on the other side of sacrifice. But here's the truth: patterns don't break themselves. You have to face them, you have to call them out, and you have to destroy them before they destroy your destiny. Every time you give in to excuses, you're feeding the pattern. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're feeding the pattern. Every time you say tomorrow, you're feeding the pattern, and your future self, the one who knows what you're capable of, is screaming for you to stop. You think this is about today, but it isn't. It's about what you'll become 5 years from now. It's about whether you'll look in the mirror and see regret or resilience. Life isn't waiting for you. It's moving, it's shifting, it's demanding. And if you don't move with it, it will leave you behind. Your comeback starts the moment you refuse to repeat what broke you. Your comeback starts when you rewrite the story, instead of rereading the same chapter. Your comeback starts when you take one brave step into discomfort and decide enough is enough, because you've been here before, you've been stuck, you've felt small, but deep down you know you were never meant to stay here. You were built for more, and your future self is waiting for you to show up. So break that pattern, break the fear, break the excuses, break the cycle that keeps you average, and rise. Because your greatest comeback begins now. Identify the destructive pattern, recognize the cycle that holds you back. Most people live their entire lives without realizing that their greatest enemy is not outside of them, but inside. It is not the world that chains them. It is not the circumstances that keep them small. It is not the opinions of others that stop them from rising. It is the repeated cycle of habits, excuses, and choices that quietly erode their potential. The truth is, every destructive pattern hides in plain sight. It feels comfortable, it feels familiar, it feels safe, but comfort can be a cage. Familiarity can be poison, and safety can be the very thing that steals your greatness. Look closely at your life. Look at the actions you repeat every day. Look at the excuses you make. Look at the choices you run to when pressure rises. Do you see the cycle? Do you see how it keeps you in the same place no matter how much you dream of change? That pattern is not your friend. It disguises itself as relief, but it robs you of progress. It whispers that tomorrow will be better while it chains you to yesterday. Breaking free begins with recognition. You cannot defeat what you refuse to name. You cannot conquer what you continue to tolerate. The cycle that holds you back is not invincible. It is fragile. It is weak when you shine the light of awareness on it. Every time you choose to see it for what it is, you strip it of its power. Every time you admit that the cycle exists, you reclaim a piece of your strength. This is where transformation begins, not with dramatic leaps, not with overnight success, but with the simple, powerful act of recognizing the destructive pattern for what it is, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Once you acknowledge it, you can no longer hide behind ignorance. Once you name it, you have no choice but to face it, and facing it is the beginning of freedom. You are not stuck because life has been unfair. You are not trapped because destiny forgot you. You are only held back by the chains you continue to wrap around yourself. But chains can be broken, cycles can be shattered, patterns can be rewritten. It starts with recognition. It starts with the courage to tell yourself the truth. It starts with refusing to stay blind to what you already know is holding you down. Identify the destructive pattern, call it out, and watch how the moment you see it clearly, you gain the power to finally break it. Take responsibility, understand that breaking the pattern is in your hands, not anyone else's. This is the moment you stop pointing fingers. This is the moment you stop blaming the past. This is the moment you stop waiting for someone else to rescue you. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you dream of. No one is going to fight your battles for you. The truth is hard, but it is freeing. Your life is in your hands. Every choice you make is either building your future or repeating your past. Every action you take is either breaking the chain or tightening it around your own neck. Responsibility is power. It is not a burden. It is not a punishment. It is the key to transformation. As long as you keep waiting for someone else to change your life, you will stay trapped in the same cycle. As long as you keep telling yourself that your circumstances are to blame, nothing will ever shift. As long as you believe that destiny owes you something, you will keep repeating the same painful patterns. But when you take responsibility, everything changes. You stop asking, "Why me?" and you start asking, "What now?" You stop waiting for doors to open, and you start building your own. You stop wishing for strength, and you start creating it inside yourself. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you caused everything that has happened to you. It doesn't mean you deserved the pain. It doesn't mean the struggle was your fault. But it does mean that the way forward is yours to claim. It means you have the authority to decide how the story continues. It means you have the power to choose a new response. It means you can break the destructive pattern, not because it's easy, but because you've decided to. When you accept responsibility, excuses lose their grip. When you accept responsibility, blame becomes useless. When you accept responsibility, you stop giving your power away, and that is when you begin to rise. Because the cycle cannot survive without your participation. The excuses cannot exist without your agreement. The destructive pattern cannot continue without your permission. Taking responsibility is the moment you take that permission back. It is the moment you draw the line and declare, "This ends with me." Yes, it will be hard. Yes, it will demand sacrifice. Yes, it will test every ounce of your willpower, but it will also set you free. Because when you decide that the power has always been in your hands, nothing can stop you. Take responsibility. Stop waiting. Stop blaming. Stop delaying. The strength to break the pattern has been within you all along. Listen to your future self. The strongest version of you is calling for action today. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the person you could become. Not the person stuck in the same cycle. Not the person weighed down by excuses. Not the person held hostage by fear. But the version of you who refused to quit. The version of you who pushed through. The version of you who rose above every pattern that tried to hold you back. That version of you is real. That version of you exists in the future. And right now, they are calling out to you. They are begging you to stop wasting time. They are begging you to stop giving in to the same old habits. They are begging you to take action today, because they know what's possible if you just begin. Your future self has seen what you are capable of. They've seen the strength you've been too afraid to use. They've seen the greatness buried underneath hesitation, and they are waiting for you to listen. Think about it. Every delay pushes you further away from that stronger version of yourself. Every excuse builds more distance between who you are and who you're meant to be. Every time you say tomorrow, you steal from your own future, but the moment you choose to act, you close the gap. The moment you take one step forward, you begin to bridge the distance. The moment you decide to rise, you start becoming the person your future self already knows you can be. Your future self is not asking you for perfection. They are not asking you to have all the answers. They are not asking you to be fearless. They are asking you to move, to act, to choose growth over comfort. Because comfort is temporary, but regret is permanent. Because hesitation fades, but discipline builds. Because every small action you take today compounds into the powerful life you will live tomorrow. Listen closely. Your future self is speaking. They are whispering through your dreams. They are shouting through your hunger for more. They are echoing in every restless night where you know deep down you were meant for greater things. You can ignore that voice. You can drown it out with distractions. You can pretend it isn't real. But one day, you will meet your future self. And the question is, will they thank you or will they resent you? Will they look at you with pride for choosing courage, or will they look at you with disappointment for staying the same? The strongest version of you is calling. They are waiting for your response. They are urging you to take action today. Don't keep them waiting. Stop feeding excuses. Every excuse strengthens the chain you're trying to break. Excuses feel small in the moment. They feel harmless. They feel like protection, like a shield against failure, like a way to ease the pressure building inside you. But every time you feed an excuse, you add another link to the chain that holds you down. Every time you tell yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow," that chain grows stronger. Every time you whisper, "I don't have enough time," the lock tightens. Every time you believe, "I'm not ready yet," you keep yourself in the same prison you claim to hate. Excuses are not comfort. They are the bars that keep you trapped. They disguise themselves as reasons, but they are nothing more than permission slips for mediocrity. The more you give them power, the weaker you become. The more you repeat them, the harder it becomes to imagine life without them, and soon excuses turn into identity. You no longer see yourself as someone who tries. You see yourself as someone who avoids, someone who settles, someone who accepts less than what they are capable of. But here's the truth. Excuses cannot survive without your voice. They cannot grow unless you keep feeding them. They only live because you allow them to. The moment you starve them, they die. The moment you refuse to say, "I can't," you open space to ask, "How can I?" The moment you replace "not now" with "now," the cycle begins to break. Excuses are the language of limitation, and every time you speak them, you chain yourself tighter to the life you say you don't want. But discipline, effort, and courage are the tools that break the lock. You cannot change while making excuses. You cannot grow while defending your limitations. You cannot rise while justifying why you're still stuck. If you want freedom, you must silence the excuses. If you want transformation, you must stop feeding the lies that tell you it's okay to stay the same. Excuses will always be there, whispering, waiting, offering you an easy way out. But so will the choice to rise above them. So will the opportunity to say, "Not this time." So will the chance to finally take ownership of your life. The chains are not stronger than you. The pattern is not greater than your will. The excuses are not more powerful than your decision. Stop feeding them, starve them, break free from them. And watch how quickly the chains you thought were unbreakable begin to fall away. Choose growth over comfort. Comfort keeps you stuck. Growth sets you free. Comfort feels good in the moment. It feels safe. It feels easy. It feels like relief from the weight of challenge. But comfort is deceptive. It promises peace, but it delivers stagnation. It whispers that you're fine where you are, but deep down you know you're not moving forward. Comfort is the slow death of potential. It is the soft pillow that keeps you from ever standing tall. It is the warm blanket that convinces you to stay asleep when your destiny is begging you to wake up. Every dream requires discomfort. Every breakthrough requires struggle. Every transformation demands that you step into what feels unfamiliar, what feels risky, what feels hard. Growth does not live where comfort does. Growth lives in the stretch. It lives in the moments when your body says stop, but your spirit says keep going. It lives in the choices that scare you, the challenges that test you, and the sacrifices that shape you. Comfort might feel like safety, but it's actually a trap. It builds walls around you, and those walls become the limits of your life. You are not built to live inside limits. You are not created to remain in the same place, repeating the same cycles, year after year. You were made to expand. You were made to rise. You were made to grow. And growth will set you free. It will unlock strengths you didn't know you had. It will reveal courage you thought you lost. It will awaken a fire inside you that comfort could never give. Growth demands pain, yes. Growth demands failure, yes. Growth demands that you endure seasons of doubt, fear, and resistance. But every ounce of pain is a seed of power. Every failure is a lesson that sharpens you. Every hard step forward is proof that you are alive and moving closer to the person you were meant to be. The path of comfort leads to regret. The path of growth leads to freedom. Regret chains you to what could have been. Freedom unleashes what will be. So ask yourself, are you choosing the easy way or the real way? Are you choosing the shallow comfort that fades or the deep growth that lasts? Because comfort will hold you down, but growth will lift you higher than you ever imagined. The life you want will never be found inside your comfort zone. It waits beyond the fear. It waits beyond the struggle. It waits beyond the resistance. Choose growth. Step into the unknown. Embrace the challenge. And you will find that what once felt like chains were only walls waiting for you to break through. Think long. Term your decisions today will echo years into your future. Every choice you make leaves a mark. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a seed being planted in the soil of your future. The life you are living right now is the result of yesterday's decisions. And the life you will live tomorrow will be the result of today's choices. Most people only see the moment. They chase what feels good now. They run after instant relief, instant pleasure, instant comfort. But short-term thinking builds long-term regret. Skipping the effort today becomes weakness tomorrow. Choosing excuses today becomes disappointment tomorrow. Settling for comfort today becomes chains tomorrow. You cannot escape the echo of your decisions. The future always remembers. The sacrifices you make now will reward you later. The discipline you build now will protect you later. The pain you endure now will empower you later. But the opposite is just as true. The excuses you feed now will limit you later. The time you waste now will haunt you later. The opportunities you ignore now will never return. So think beyond the moment. Think beyond the urge. Think beyond what feels easy right now. Ask yourself, 5 years from today, will I thank myself for this decision, or will I regret it? Will I look back with pride that I acted with courage, or will I look back wishing I had done more? The long-term perspective is what separates those who rise from those who stay the same. Anyone can chase what feels good for a moment. But the strong choose what will matter years from now. When you think long term, you begin to see clearly. You realize that missing one step today can snowball into a lifetime of missed opportunities. You realize that showing up with consistency today creates a future built on strength. You realize that what you sacrifice now becomes the foundation of the life you've always wanted. Every workout, every late night of effort, every moment of discipline, every time you choose growth over comfort, it all compounds, it all adds up. It all builds the future version of you that you dream about. And that future version is depending on you. They are depending on your choices today. They are depending on your courage today. They are depending on you to think beyond this moment and fight for the life you were meant to live. So do not waste today. Do not let short-term desires rob you of long-term greatness. Your decisions are not just for now. They are echoes that shape years to come. Think long-term, act with vision. And remember, the future is being written right now with every choice you make. Reject regret. Don't become someone who looks back wishing they started earlier. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens a human being can carry. It is not the weight of what happened. It is the weight of what never happened, the weight of opportunities ignored, the weight of dreams abandoned, the weight of time wasted. Regret doesn't arrive all at once. It creeps in slowly, it grows with every excuse, it builds with every day you say not yet. It takes root every time you put off the life you know you were meant to live, and one day you wake up and realize too much time has passed. You realize the chance you had is gone, you realize the fire you once carried is dim, you realize the years slipped through your fingers because you kept waiting for the right time, but there is no right time. There is only now. The longer you wait, the heavier regret becomes. And here's the truth: regret does not care how much you wish you could go back. It does not care how badly you want a second chance. It does not care about the stories you tell yourself. Regret is merciless. It reminds you of what you could have been. It whispers you should have started. It echoes you could have been more. But you don't have to live that way. You don't have to let regret own your future. You don't have to look back years from now with tears in your eyes, wishing you had the courage to begin. You can reject regret before it ever takes hold. You do that by starting now, by acting today, by refusing to let another day slip into the pile of wasted chances. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need certainty. You don't need every detail figured out. You just need to begin, because beginning is the weapon that destroys regret. Action is the cure for hesitation. Courage is the antidote to what if. The people who rise are not the ones who waited for the right moment. They are the ones who chose to step forward when it was uncomfortable. They are the ones who decided that regret would never own them. One day, your future self will look back at this very moment, and they will either thank you for your bravery or resent you for your delay. They will either stand tall because you moved or remain broken because you waited. Reject regret while you still can. Don't give it permission to write your story. Don't become the person who looks back with empty hands and a heavy heart. Become the person who looks back with pride, knowing you chose to begin when it mattered most. Rewrite your story. Stop rereading the same painful chapter. Create a new one. You are not bound to the past. You are not chained to what happened before. The pain you went through, the mistakes you made, the failures you endured, none of them have the power to define your future unless you keep handing them the pen. Too many people spend their lives rereading the same chapter of their story. They replay the same heartbreak. They repeat the same excuses. They relive the same disappointments over and over again, and without realizing it, they get stuck. The story never changes because they never turn the page. But your life is not meant to be a loop of old pain. You are not here to keep reliving yesterday. You are here to create something new. You are here to write chapters filled with strength, courage, redemption, and victory. Every day you wake up, life hands you a blank page. What you write on that page is up to you. You can keep scribbling the same lines of regret and excuses, or you can start writing a new story, one that reflects the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. Your past is not a prison, it is a lesson, it is a teacher, it is proof that you survived, but it is not meant to be your home. You cannot build your future if you keep rereading your pain. You cannot step into your destiny if you keep clinging to the chapters that broke you. Let them go, close that chapter, turn the page, and write something new. Maybe your old story was filled with loss. Maybe it was filled with struggle. Maybe it was filled with doubt, fear, and failure. That doesn't mean your new story has to be. Your new story can be the one where you rise, the one where you fight back, the one where you prove to yourself that you are more powerful than every obstacle that tried to bury you. But it won't happen until you decide, until you pick up the pen, until you stop letting yesterday control today, until you declare that your story is still being written and you are the author. You don't have to carry the same ending forward. You don't have to repeat the same cycle. You don't have to remain stuck in the same chapter that hurt you. You have the power to rewrite, and the moment you realize that, your life begins to transform. So stop rereading the pain, stop staying stuck on the same page, start writing the story you were meant to live, a story of strength, a story of growth, a story of freedom. Your greatest chapter is waiting for you to create it. Step into discomfort, courage lives where fear tries to stop you. Fear has a way of disguising itself as protection. It tells you to stay where it feels safe. It tells you not to take the risk. It tells you that stepping forward will only lead to pain. But fear is not there to protect you. Fear is there to limit you. It is the invisible wall standing between you and the life you were created to live. And the only way to break that wall is to step directly into discomfort. Discomfort is not your enemy. It is your training ground. It is where you discover your strength. It is where you uncover your courage. It is where you learn that you are capable of far more than you ever believed. Every great achievement has lived on the other side of discomfort. Every dream, every breakthrough, every transformation, none of them were born in safety. They were born in the fire of challenge. They were born in the weight of struggle. They were born in the moments where fear tried to stop someone, but courage pushed them forward anyway. Discomfort is not meant to break you. It is meant to build you. It sharpens you. It stretches you. It transforms you into someone who can stand tall even in the face of storms. If you avoid discomfort, you avoid growth. If you hide from fear, you hide from courage. If you keep choosing what feels easy, you will never discover the power of what is possible. Yes, stepping into discomfort will hurt. Yes, it will feel unnatural. Yes, it will test every ounce of your patience and your will, but it will also free you, because once you walk through fear, you realize it was never as strong as you thought. Once you face the thing you've been avoiding, you realize the chains were always in your mind. And once you choose courage over comfort, you open the door to a life far bigger than the one you've been settling for. Fear will always whisper. It will always try to keep you small. It will always try to convince you that safety is the answer. But courage only shows up when you do the thing fear told you not to do. Courage only comes alive when you take the step into the unknown. Courage only grows when you lean into discomfort and refuse to back down. The life you want isn't waiting in safety. It isn't waiting in comfort. It's waiting in the fire of discomfort. where fear once tried to stop you. Step into that fire. Step into the unknown. Step into the place that scares you. Because that is where courage lives. That is where your transformation begins. Own your comeback. Breaking the pattern is the first step to your greatest transformation. There comes a point in life where you realize you can no longer stay the same. You can no longer keep repeating the same mistakes. You can no longer keep recycling the same excuses. You can no longer keep living in the shadows of what broke you. That point is the beginning of your comeback. But comebacks don't happen by accident. They don't happen because life suddenly gets easier. They don't happen because someone else fixes things for you. They don't happen because time magically heals what you refuse to change. A comeback happens the moment you take ownership, the moment you stand up and declare, "This cycle ends with me," the moment you stop waiting for permission and start creating your own path, the moment you refuse to let your past decide your future. Breaking the pattern is not just about change. It is about transformation. It is the act of taking back control. It is the act of rewriting your story. It is the act of deciding that the same chains that held you yesterday will not hold you today. Every comeback begins with a choice to rise instead of stay down, a choice to fight instead of surrender, a choice to step into the unknown instead of hiding in the familiar, and that choice belongs to you. Owning your comeback means you no longer see yourself as a victim of life, you no longer blame circumstances, you no longer wait for the perfect moment, you no longer bow down to the destructive patterns that once ruled your life. Owning your comeback means you understand that power has always been in your hands, the power to break the cycle, the power to change direction, the power to rise stronger than you ever imagined. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, it will require discipline. Yes, it will demand sacrifice. But it will also reveal the person you were always meant to become. Your greatest transformation is waiting on the other side of your decision to own this comeback. The old you may have been stuck. The old you may have been lost. The old you may have felt powerless. But the new you, the one who breaks the pattern, becomes unstoppable. The new you rises with resilience. The new you walks with courage. The new you lives with freedom. This is your moment to take ownership. This is your moment to stop giving your power away. This is your moment to say, "I will not stay down. I will rise." Own your comeback. Because the second you break the pattern, you ignite the fire of your greatest transformation. Here's a powerful ending you can use to close the speech with impact and leave the listener deeply motivated. So stand tall. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your rise. The chains of your past no longer hold you. The patterns that once trapped you no longer define you. From this moment forward, you are writing a new chapter. A chapter of strength, a chapter of courage, a chapter of transformation. Own your comeback, because the world has yet to see the full power of who you truly are, and now, it's time to show them.